Thune at noon with Mike Steely and Parker Thune. Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wing Studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
Welcome in on Wednesday. I am here at Cavens Group and always enjoy being out here. We just heard Brent's press conference. John Mateer, the Sooners' new quarterback, met with the media before Brent did. Jim Nagy, the Sooners' new GM, will be meeting the media here shortly. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Now, you guys, if you remember how it works on press conference days, Brent likes to talk, and I thought he said some really good stuff today, but it comes over and rolls into our show, which means we need to get caught up on commercial breaks. We're going to be talking about, what Brent had to say, what John Mateer had to say. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit about what Jim Nagy has to say coming up. What Joe C. said about the spring game situation this morning here on the Ref. We'll have all of that. We also have the text line, of course, for you at 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Grayson is in with me today, and Blake. Parker is there, covering all the pressers today. You've got all the newcomers to talk to today. It's a busy day for those on the Sooner Beat today over at the stadium. But we want to hear from you on the YouTube chat as well. Blake's got a question for you we'll tell you about when we get back here in just a minute. So we're going to do as much of a show as we can today in the allotted 1 hour and 38 minutes. I kind of feel guilty, like maybe I shouldn't even be paid today. I mean, really? This is a microwave show today from here at Cavens. Now, I'll go ahead and get paid, if you guys don't mind. But we're going to talk all things Sooner football. We'll talk a little bit about the basketball game tonight with Missouri and a few other things, but mainly, of course, it's going to be all about Sooner football. So first thing we need to do is get caught up on breaks. We are here at Cavens today. You know what Cavens is all about. You don't want to have to make the call when you have a disaster, but if you have a disaster, you need to call the best, and that would be Cavens Group. Put this number in your contact list now, 405-573-3048. That is 405-573-3048 for Cavens Group. They are the best at what they do. We'll tell you more about that. We'll talk to Gary a little bit later on. But we got to take an early time out here to get back on our commercial schedule, and we're going to talk a ton of Sooner football. What else? And we'll do it next. We'll get it all cranked up right here on the Home of Sooner Fans.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
It's time for your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO5 First Alert Weather. Brought to you by Cavens Group. Do you have a water emergency? Give Cavens a call at 405-573-3048.
From the First Alert Weather Center, meteorologist Jonathan Condor with your KOCO 5 News weather forecast. Real chilly, still breezy out the door. I'd definitely grab the winter coat this morning. Wind chills will be in the 20s. We'll see temperatures dropping down the lower 30s. Then this afternoon, still breezy. Those winds finally relax as we go into the late afternoon and the early evening. We'll see a sunny sky. Highs today in the mid-50s. Tonight, clouds increasing with light winds, low of 32. And then tomorrow, overcast with a high near 60 degrees.
That was your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO5 First Alert Weather, brought to you by Cavens. Did you have a water emergency that you fear might turn into mold? Give Cavens Group a call at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com today.
Basketball season's here, and there's no better place to watch the Sooners than at Coach's Corner in Norman. Catch every thrilling play on tons of TVs, plus enjoy the coldest beer in town. But wait, Coach's Corner isn't just for game days. Join us Tuesday nights for bingo, Wednesday nights for Singo, and don't miss Thirsty Thursdays with unbeatable drink specials. With Soul Food Sundays, the best atmosphere for OU basketball, and events all week long, Coach's Corner is your go-to spot at the intersection of Lindsay and Berry, where every day is game day.
March is here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68-team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Refs' 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more. The Refs' 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
Stand Up to Cancer asked leading cancer researchers to speak about why they do their work.
Two words come to mind for me. One is responsibility, the other is purpose.
It's just so inspiring to do research that impacts human lives.
Stand Up to Cancer has been a critical partner in advancing research for cancer.
Cancer research saves lives.
So please, help us fight in this battle against cancer.
Be a part of the team that ends cancer at standuptocancer.org.
Tired of soaring insurance expenses or feeling uncertain about your coverage? At Right Way Insurance, every client receives a dedicated team of experts committed to addressing all your insurance worries. As an independent insurance company, they provide both personal and business coverage. Let them assist you in finding the optimal coverage for your specific needs. Contact Right Way Insurance at 405-607-6014 or at rightwayinsuranceok.com. That's Right Way Insurance, your trusted partner at 405-607-6014.
We are back here at Cabins Group. We love being out here on Wednesdays, and it's going to be a little bit of a compacted show today, but we'll get a little more breathing room here in just a minute. But want to thank also not only Gary and the crew here. They're always awesome, and they are the best at what they do. Emergency board up, water intrusion, mold. They can test for mold. They can repair a situation if you get mold in your home or business, biohazard cleanup, sanitizing, air duct cleaning. They can do everything. You really don't need Cavins until you really need Cavins. And you should put this phone number in your contacts, 405-573-3048. We hope you never need them. But, again, if you're in that situation, you want to be dealing with the best. And Gary and the crew here at Cavins, they are definitely the best. All right, we got our man Grayson Singleton running the show for us today. We also have Blake Gamble manning YouTube today. Blake, we do have just a generic question we're throwing out today for the folks on the YouTube chat. You'll handle that. Grayson's got the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. What do we have for him today, Blake?
Yeah, Steelman. Made the question, are you still looking forward to spring football? A lot of news the last couple days about the reformatting of things. Obviously, last season not going how Sooner fans wanted it to, but there's been some sunshine pumping as well recently, so it'll be interesting to hear the thoughts of Sooner fans in the chat. We do have it as a poll as well, either yes or no. So go ahead and send your thoughts in the chat as well as voting in that poll, either yes or no.
There you go. And our man Grayson Singleton will man the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Again, that's 405-651-3439. I thought, what I heard from Brent, and again, people were asking, why aren't you guys carrying John Mateer? The network was only making Brent's presser available today, all right? And we would have had John Mateer on if it would have been on the network, but it wasn't, so you can't run that. Same thing with Jim Nagy and his presser happening. We would have run that as well. So that's the only one that was made available to everybody via the network. Now, we're going to have plenty of sound. You're going to hear from John Mateer here in a second. You'll hear from Jim Nagy, I'm sure, later this afternoon. We might even get a Jim Nagy clip towards the end of this show. You'll hear plenty of audio, but that's the reason, they only made Brent's part of the presser at right around 11:30 available to everybody. So that's the reason. Okay, let's hear, by the way, from John Mateer, the Sooners' new quarterback. 44 total touchdowns at Wazoo last year. Had a great season for the Cougars, including, I think 15 of those were rushing touchdowns. And he said earlier today, meeting the media, that, it's pretty cool to be the quarterback at Oklahoma.
It's all pretty surreal. I mean, I'm a quarterback at Oklahoma Sooners. It's wild. But I'm here, and I feel blessed to do it. And it's close to home, which is great. My family loves it, obviously, because I'm so close. But, I mean, it goes back to, the expectations and the pressure. I think it's just a privilege and an opportunity to be here and work as hard as I can with all the resources I have and the great teammates I have around me to just put my best performance on the field.
There you go. So far, the locker room reports, very popular. He's in there all the time, working his tail off, and has been a really good leader. Maybe he has some of those Baker Mayfield qualities. What do we hear from Baker Mayfield anywhere he goes until they, cast all those negative thoughts towards him in Cleveland when they were trying to get rid of him? The teammates, love Baker. In Tampa, you see how much his teammates love him in Tampa. And so far, you're hearing similar reports about John Mateer with his teammates at OU. We had the Kendall Dolby interview last week, courtesy of our friends at One Oklahoma, and he was talking about the guy's a dog. I can recognize a dog because I'm a dog, and John Mateer is a dog. So the early returns on John Mateer have been really good. The question is going to be, the SEC schedule. He's moving up again to the heavyweight division. Would it be unusual for him to put up those kind of numbers at Oklahoma? I mean, we'll see. Clearly, better athletes in the Southeastern Conference than what he faced a year ago. But so far, good early reports on John Mateer, and we'll see what unfolds when the Sooners take the field officially for the first time against Illinois State. Brent Venables wrapped up his presser here just about 15 minutes ago, and here's what Brent had to say about the Sooners' new QB, John
I think
Mateer.
He's got great competitive maturity to him and competitive toughness. He's consistent. He likes the locker room. He's a football junkie, a gym rat. He's up at the facility nonstop. He's got one other person other than a coach that puts in more hours than him. That's Jaron Canick. And so I think it's his cross to bear to be in the facility more than Jaron Canick. And but no, I say that he's blended in and transitioned incredibly well. He's about that work. Players recognize his talent immediately, but he's incredibly competitive. He's got a great maturity about him, and he's a very process-driven, young guy.
There you go, Brent on the Sooners' new quarterback. What stood out to me, the parts that I was able to listen to, was Brent was asking, I think it was George Stoya who asked about, job pressure in this season, heading into this year where Brent's job, a lot of people feel like, is on the line. And Brent's just some of the excerpts from that, talking about, I've been in coaching for a long time, and I feel like every day my job is on the line. He's always felt that way. He also said, do we need to be better? You're damn right. Am I going to call the defense? Yes, I'm going to call the defense. I feel good about it because I am good at it. So what were your takeaways, Grayson, from hearing from Brent in about a 45-minute press conference?
Exactly what you just said. That was the quote I was going to go to. I'm going to call a defense because I'm good at it. No shade to nobody else. He went on to say that doesn't come from an egotistical, narcissistic type of mindset. He just said, I'm good at it. And our results have to be better coming off of a 6-7 season. I also liked what he said. He's back in his comfort zone, too. And I think that's part of the conversation we haven't had when it comes to Brent, is that maybe he becomes better as a head coach because he's comfortable calling defenses. That's his familiar spot. So I'm interested to see that. Does a more comfortable Brent, because he's back on the headset calling plays defensively, does that translate into him being a better overall head coach? Obviously, that remains to be seen, but those are the two things that I took away from the press conference.
Yeah, very interesting, and we'll have some clips coming up later on from Jim Nagy, the Sooners' new football general manager. That hire has been met with very positive reviews nationally. Looks like a home run for Oklahoma. And Jim Nagy's going to be having a press conference. I think it was scheduled for 12:45. I know he was flying in. So we'll have some comments later today here on the Ref from Jim Nagy as well, and Sooner newcomers also. That includes the transfers and the new freshmen coming aboard for the Sooners. Okay, we're here at Cavens. It is a Wednesday, and we've got to take one break. This will get us completely caught up. When we get back, interesting what Joe Castiglione had to say about the spring game on the T-Row in the Morning Show. What spring game? It's now the Crimson Combine. How it went down, the thought behind it. Joe C., he didn't even sound super happy about it. And what did we say yesterday? Joe Castiglione and a lot of those people in marketing and even the coaches, I'm sure that they don't like the way this is all going down. But that's the way it's going down right now in college football, and you kind of have to run with it or you're going to be left behind. So we'll hear what he had to say when we get back. We're here at Cavens again on a Wednesday. Keep it right here on the Ref.
Bleed Crimson? Love great Sooner talk? Join the Ref Army by downloading our free app. Toby and TJ, Plank and Josh, Steelman and Thune, and Teddy and Tyler. We have the Sooner experts. The Ref is home to Sooner fans worldwide.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers, they're smart.
Fight and defend against the flu. We must win so that our human can stay healthy and help protect the people he cares about most.
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect yourself and others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Thanks to generous community support, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post 9/11 veterans and their families since 2003. Through no-cost physical and mental health services, legislative advocacy, career assistance, and life skill training, we're there every step of the journey.
It's possible to feel understood.
To get support when it's needed most.
And now I know anything is possible.
And we're just getting started. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Would you like to play a more active role in your health? At Hightower Clinical, we believe all Oklahomans should have access to new potential treatment options through clinical trial participation. Our team wants to support you with the best care possible through clinical trials. No health insurance is required. Compensation is available for eligible study participants, and study care is provided at no cost.
Having the chance to go through a trial and find out if something works for them and makes their life easier, I would recommend them do it.
To learn more, scan this QR code and visit our website.
We are back here at Cavens Group. Gary will join us next hour. Remember, if your home floods from storms, we had some storms the other day, and we've got more on the way. Of course, you know who to call. Cavens Group, if you have a water emergency, they have you covered from flooding to structural drying and extraction. Cavens Group is your one-stop shop for fast, reliable cleanup. Don't wait to get expert help today. We hope you never have to call Gary and the folks here, but if you find yourself in a really bad situation, disaster, emergency, you want to call the very best in the business, and that is Cavens Group, 405-573-3048. We always try and tell you that it would be wise of you to put that number in your emergency contacts or just in your phone contacts so you can make that call immediately to Cavens, 405-573-3048. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Steely here at Cavens. We got Grayson Singleton and Blake Gamble running things back in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios today. And I want to play this stuff from Joe C. this morning, and we'll get back to Brent. We've got some more Brent audio to play next hour. But this was Joe C. on the T-Row in the morning show this morning. And, what's the hot topic been? No spring football game April 12th. It's going to be a Crimson Combine, which will be, some fun activities, fan engagement, but it's not going to be your spring game. And look, a lot of Sooner fans have been used to coming back to the spring game or the old varsity alumni game for years and years and years. They planned their weekends around that year after year after year. And look, when your football team's been struggling, your basketball team is on the outside looking in, according to Joe Lunardi now, and you're worried about that, people are going to be negative. But this is something that I think was a big deal for Sooner fans. And some spring games are attended better than others. See 2022, obviously. But it's a big weekend. And, again, it's a habit for Oklahoma fans. So when they hear, hey, no spring game, we're going to do this Crimson Combine thing, some people were upset. Well, here's what Joe C. had to say with Toby this morning. This is Joe Castiglione on why they're having the Crimson Combine and no spring game.
The old world has changed, and I don't like it either. I have joined our staff trying to engage more fans over the last several years. We've had concerts. We've pushed attendance. We've grown the attendance at spring games. We understand it, but the world has changed dramatically, and we don't have to like it, but it's something different, and it's hard to explain to everybody, but this is the forerunner for what's going to happen in spring football. Maybe people have a spring game this year, but in my mind, I see spring practices changing dramatically in the years to come. I'm thinking it might be like the pro teams have OTAs. So this is just something that's happening, and as we talked the other night, there's probably more than half of the SEC schools that have already announced they're not doing it, and our coach and staff felt like this is the best way forward. Utilize the 15 days of practice that we have in the most productive way. We're working hard to try to make it fun as it could possibly be. And again, Toby, I hate to be the bearer of the news of change. I'm a traditionalist. I love the spring game. I hate to see it going away. I'm with the fans. I don't like it. It's just something that we're having to do to adjust and best position our programs.
Really great interview with Joe C. this morning on the T-Row in the Morning Show. And you can find that on our podcast page, by the way, at kref.com. This one, though, was very interesting. I thought this was the most concerning question and answer from T-Row and Joe C. this morning.
What's your level of faith that we're going to be able to get this thing under control in college sports?
I'm always optimistic, of course, and we have to. If we value what the American tradition has been for 100 and some years, 125, 130 years, it's gone through a lot of different phases. Change has made it better in a lot of ways, made the game safer in a lot of ways, but it always needs to be improved. The part that I hesitate about is I haven't seen a true strategy out there that I believe is going to work in the long run.
Yeah, that is concerning because college football, while the games are still really good, and I know that Oklahoma struggled 2 of Brent's first 3 years, so Sooner fans haven't enjoyed the games as much, but it's cool to see these new matchups, and more of these really top-flight matchups. But at the same time, with the transfer portal, with the NIL, it has been, we've called it, quote-unquote, the Wild Wild West since this all got started, and there's no sheriff out there. None. Not even a deputy sheriff of Barney Fife quality to oversee this. And that's why we just don't know what it's going to look like in 2 or 3 years or beyond that. Hopefully college football fans are so fanatical, particularly if you're at a school like Oklahoma or a really good conference like the SEC. The love for the school is always going to be there. But will they love the game as much? Because some of these fans are feeling really alienated because they're being asked to give more. Who did that song? Andrea True Connection, disco song. Thank you. What a memory. But no, they're being asked to give more, and some of them feel like they've already given enough. And, I talked about this yesterday. It's kind of a tough spot for Joe C. and those smart marketing people over at the University of Oklahoma who all really do a great job, and they're working their butts off, just like One Oklahoma's doing, I think, a really good job, and they're working as hard as they can, trying to get this money in. But when you've struggled 2 of the last 3 years, it's hard to pick up the phone and say, hey, we need $1 million if you got it, please. That's not an easy call to make.
And
even for $200,000, Grayson, it's kind of like, let's say your internet company, your Wi-Fi is going out, every now and then, and you don't feel really confident about it. And then your internet company hits you up and says, by the way, we need $50 more a month for you to continue with our service. You're going to think, what? You can't even keep your internet from going in and out. That's kind of what's going on with the OU football program to an extent now. That may be a Mike Steely horrible analogy, but it's just been tough. It's just been tough for Oklahoma so far. I'm not thinking that, they're not going to figure this out. It is OU. There are smart people there. There's been some bad luck involved as well with scheduling and injuries and bad hires. I don't know if Brent's going to end up being the head coach at Oklahoma long term. I love his passion. I love that he keeps fighting, and maybe they'll get some more breaks this year. But it's hard when your fan base is not real happy, yet you've got to pick up the phone and call because guess who else is probably unhappy? A lot of those big money donors, too. We're like, man, I've already given you $300,000, and it was 6 games this year. I don't know. It's a tough situation, and they're trying to work their way through it. What do you think?
I think it gets even more complicated because you now have had to, because of the changing climate of the sport, take away one of the events for fan engagement. And that just makes it even harder to do. Look, everybody's got to do what's going on. The spring game, because of all the changes, it was wise that it went away. That's true. It also is true that you have to pick up the phone or type out some emails and ask for more money. That, too, is true. But it is also true that it's going to be met with some sort of cynicism from the fan base because you now took away, for what a lot of them is their closest access to the coaching staff, their closest access to the team. What made them feel like their congregation mattered in a bigger way than just showing up on game day and cheering. Their engagement, that might be the most engaging thing a lot of them get to go to. So it's a catch-22, but all of those things had to happen because of this. And hopefully the payoff is, and hopefully for the fans too, their team is at a more competitive advantage because of it than they were in the years prior.
Yeah, the one thing I would say to that is give this thing a chance. All right, all we're saying is give the Crimson Combine a chance. Where's John Lennon when you need him? But this may be great for fan engagement. Now, again, it's not your spring game, and I know your hardcore football people want the spring game. I get that. You heard Joe say he doesn't even like this. He's aligned with the fans, but this is kind of, it sounds like it's been really a football decision, maybe even more than an administrative decision. But to me, give this a chance. It might be really good. I mean, think of what they do in the Pro Bowl now. You know, you're going to see some of that stuff. You'll see these guys in different lights. You'll see more of their personality. I would say to give this a chance and see what happens. I think the worst thing that Oklahoma fans can do right now is say, well, I'm not giving another dime, or I'm not going to that. That's great. It's not great, actually. All you're going to do is cause, more issues, or the turnaround maybe to come back to not be as fast as you want it to be. Now, I understand not everybody can give, or maybe you're giving the amount that you can give right now. And it's hard to say, well, if somebody says, why should I give? I've given this amount already. I'm not seeing any results. I get that. But for those that say, well, I'm not going to give another dime, or I'm canceling, what I'm giving right now, that's not going to help. I mean, if you want Oklahoma football to be Oklahoma football to be great again, or if you want basketball to be a team that's not only fighting to get into the tournament, be fighting in to be like one of the top 16 teams every year, that's what has to happen. And I know it's hard to hear right now, but that's what needs to happen. So we'll see how Sooner fans respond. But I would just say, look, I want the spring game too, but let's give this a chance, see what it looks like. Now, maybe there will actually be more fan engagement. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out April 12th. Okay, here at Cavens, we are going to get to all of your texts and your YouTube chats. We've got kind of this is a more compacted show than a Mini Cooper, I believe. It's just, it's crazy. But we're going to get back on track here, so we're going to get to the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We are going to get to the YouTube chat coming up top of the hour. By the way, I want to thank our friends at Riverwind Casino as always. We're going to be out there on Friday. What's Riverwind all about? Well, best casino experience in the Oklahoma City metro area year after year after year. Approaching, getting close to 20 years now. Nearly 3,000 electronic games. They have the best selection of electronic games. They also have all of your favorite table games as well. 2 table game pits, 2 high-stakes areas, and they've got a great poker room. If you haven't seen that, even if you don't play poker, man, look in there, and you're like, man, that is awesome. It is incredible. They have off-track betting. We now have an Oasis gaming area that is smoke-free on the first floor. Skyloft gaming area upstairs. Great, promotions every month. You want to be thinking about on Friday night, the 80K Golden Clovers giveaway. You can win a share of 80K in cash and bonus play. Get out there on Friday nights, and great shows as well. Beats and Bites is coming back. We'll tell you about the lineup announcement and about the rest of the shows coming up at the Showplace next hour. All right, got to get out of here for hour number 1. More Sooner football conversation when we get back for hour 2 here on The Ref.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans, The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Ever wonder why someone would wake up at the crack of dawn just for a chance at the unknown? Maybe a better question is, what are you waiting for? Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
There's strength in family and there's strength in partnership. Hi, I'm Michelle Huff with Armstrong Bank, where we believe in building financial stability and enduring relationships. As a family-owned community bank since 1909, we'll always be here to support you because we know that true strength is in our communities. Armstrong Bank, strength runs in our family. Visit armstrong.bank, member FDIC.
From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond, no one covers the Sooners like we do. If it's Sooner Sports, we have you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the home of Sooner fans.
Are you, your family, or company looking for a locally owned and trusted management group? Carlsbad Management Group is an owner, developer, and manager of high-quality apartment communities in Oklahoma. They are a locally owned and operated management company for apartments and self-storage units. They are committed to providing exceptional apartment homes, customer service, and increasing the value of multi-family communities under our management. If you would like a free management quote today, call Carlsbad Management at 405-701-1411 and be part of the Carlsbad family.
For decades, Moore Norman Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to hundreds of graduates a year. These passionate individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies that fuel this state's economy. Individuals like you. Here's to the next generation of entrepreneurs, craftsmen, and go-getters who will shape the future of this state. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm LaToya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like LaToya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
The 2025 home season finale for the Oklahoma gymnastics team is Friday, March 7th at 7:15 against the Michigan Wolverines. The senior class has won championships. They've broken records, and we need you at the LNC wearing crimson to celebrate Jordan, Audrey, Danae, and Danielle and all of their accomplishments. Tickets are available at Soonersports.com/tickets, and we'll see you at the LNC on March 7th. Boomer Sooner.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Back here at Cavens on a Wednesday. I am the man of steel, one of America's favorites, geriatric regional radio stars. How are we doing, everybody? Hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. Gary will join us a little bit later. Apologize for how compacted that first hour was, but we had to, we wanted to run Brent's presser in its entirety, but we have a full real hour coming up here, and we'll be getting to the text line here in a second. Cavens Group, you know what they're all about: disaster response, emergencies, flooding, mold issues, smoke damage, water intrusion, all that kind of stuff, biohazard cleanup. You want the best in the business, and the very best is Cavens. You can find them online at Cavens Group, Cavins, cavensgroup.com. They're on Insta, they're on Facebook, they're on X, they're everywhere. And Gary will join us a little bit later. But just keep in mind this number, 405-573-3048. If you ever have one of those issues pop up, we certainly hope you do not. But if you do, you need that number because that's who you need to call. Cavens Group, 405-573-3048. All right, Missouri and Oklahoma. Hoops tonight at the LNC at 7 o'clock. SEC Network Plus. Missouri beat the Sooners by 24 in Columbia back in mid-February. Missouri is coming off an overtime loss at Vandy over the weekend. We'll see if they can handle Mark Mitchell this time around. The center for Missouri scored 25. The Sooners actually did a pretty good job guarding the three-point area against a good shooting beyond the arc Missouri team. But Mark Mitchell went to the free throw line, I believe it was 18 times, made 13 or 14 of those. He was a big issue for Oklahoma inside in game one. So we'll see if the Sooners, Jalen Moore, according to Porter Moser, we'll hear from him a little bit later. Jalen Moore should be ready to go. May not be 100%, but Porter did say with T-Row this morning he expects that Jalen Moore will play. The OU women will play tomorrow, 12:30, against either Arkansas or Georgia in the SEC women's event in Greenville, South Carolina. Jenny B and company, the 5 seed. Right now that game is underway between Georgia and Arkansas. It's 28-21 in favor of Georgia. But 12:30 tip tomorrow in Greenville, South Carolina. Sooner baseball, what else? You go to Dallas Baptist, you lose to Dallas Baptist. That's just the way it works out. Skip and company, though, still, it's a midweek game, and they're 1-8 against DBU in Dallas now. So it's a midweek game, but again, they lose 11-0 in 7 innings, only 2 hits. Oklahoma back at Mitchell Park for a 3-game set with Sam Houston State Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Thunder at Memphis tonight, 8:30 tip there on ESPN. The last time they met in Memphis, Oklahoma City won by 13 February 8th. Memphis currently 4th in the West, 12 games behind OKC in the Western Conference standings. Alex Caruso will not play tonight for OKC with an ankle issue. Isaiah Joe questionable with a back issue. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out for Memphis tonight. He's got an ankle situation. And John Morant also listed as questionable tonight in that matchup with a shoulder problem. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Brent Venables' press conference. We had it live for you here on the Ref. And a little bit later on, I'm sure we'll have some audio from Jim Nagy, the Sooners' new general manager for football. You did hear some sound from John Mateer earlier as well. Let's hear a couple more from Brent, then we'll hit the text line and the YouTube chat. This is Brent Venables talking about injuries.
Will be out. Had a labrum. Cade McIntyre had a labrum, just been old high school injury. Jaden Jackson played all year with a labrum tear, so he'll be out. Logan Howland, same thing. Guys that just fought through it and battled through it, and but they'll all miss the spring. Seth Freeman showed up here. He didn't have an ACL, didn't even know it as a long snapper. KJ Daniels, he's had a hamstring from high school. Just he can't get over it, and we're going to help him get over it. Just keep him. It's a severe hamstring injury, so he'll miss most of the spring. Andy Bass re-injured his ACL, so he's back at it a second time. And Javante got hurt in a game there late in the season, and with a foot. And so we're going to keep him out of the spring. And then Darius Afalava had a high school injury that he's been a part of OTAs and might do it the next couple of days. And then we're going to put him on the shelf and get this old cleanup job on one of his knees, just something that he's battled through and just with the pain. So he'll miss the rest of spring. And
there you go. Some of the guys who will miss the spring or be limited during spring practice for Oklahoma. Here's what Brent had to say with Zach Alley moving on to, go be the defensive coordinator for Rich Rod at West Virginia. Brent did bring in Nate Dreiling, of course, but it'll be Brent as the DC. Brent will be calling the defense, and here's how Brent answered the question as to why he's going to be calling the defense.
Every year's big, and for me, I know I've said that. I don't think well, that's just coach speak. But I go back to my first year when Bill Snyder hired me on an interim basis. You ever been hired on an interim basis where basically they said your job's on the line? I'm watching everything you do, and your first screw up, there's no guarantee, and I'm also going to pay you pennies. All right? Well, that was my first time, and I was so thankful. But I've literally had that mindset my entire career. Every game's that way. Every day I show up, something's on the line. My job's on the line. I've had that for 30 years. And I believe, because I've had that same mindset, that I don't go like this and everything's on the line. He's fighting for his job. I've been fighting for my job every year. Like somebody's holding me under the water trying to drown me. And that's been my mindset. That's been my attitude when I come to work every day. So nothing's changing for me. Do we need to be better? You're damn right. Does your mindset got to change? Nope. And why am I going to call the defense? Because I'm good at it.
There you go. That is your clip of the day, in my opinion, right there. Brent also talking about, the fact that because he was asked about, job pressure and how he handles it. So, I don't know. I thought that was one of the better answers, maybe the best answer of the press conference. Okay, 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Then we'll hit Blake in the YouTube chat here in just a second as well. What do we have, Grayson?
Krabby Sooner on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Things were going fine until BV started talking about injuries, and then I didn't hear anything and just started having flashbacks.
Yeah, man, last year, you talk about a mash unit. It was – I've never seen a position so devastated as that wide receiver group last year. And the lack of continuity on the offensive line because guys were in and out of the lineup. And there were just a ton of injuries affecting the offense. The offense was basically the Hindenburg, the humanity. It was that kind of a disaster. Bad OC hire. Offensive line, no continuity, couldn't block, couldn't pass protect, particularly early in the season. Young quarterback, although a 5-star, already with shaky confidence, loses his confidence. And then you have young players at the wide receiver spot who were trying to do their best, but it was just it was the worst Oklahoma offense I've seen in, going back to the John Blake days. It was that bad. So Sooner fans are hopeful they will at least have a competent offense this year. And it's really hard to stay injury-free, but they need a lot more luck, with those this year as well. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
A little longer one from 4-star K-Dub in the 918. Wouldn't hold your breath on them and their fan engagement. They're terrible at it and providing fun for fans. Game day atmospheres have been lame for over a decade now, with many people complaining about it. They've changed nothing. To me, if they truly cared about the fans, they wouldn't be charging $15 for beer at baseball games or $10 for this Crimson whatever. This first year should be free to create buy-in and also a way to say sorry for canceling the game less than a month away.
Well, I heard T-Row talk about this, and I think it's been maybe a month ago or so, talking about the atmospheres and talking about where he went. Oklahoma's atmosphere was as good or better than every place he went. Now, we're not just talking about the crowd. We're talking about what they do during the game. And, I know people always talk about kicking for chicken or whatever. I think they're trying to do the best they can. And look, the reality is, in this day and age of college football, there aren't going to be many freebies, if any freebies. You just can't do that. I mean, I hate it. But I understand. Well, they should do this for free. Okay, but they need the money. They've got to bring in the money. That's the bottom line. There aren't going to be a lot of freebies, if any at all, until things change in this new college football world we're living in. I get the fan frustration. I get it. But it's kind of like Josie was talking about with, the spring game clip we played last hour. He doesn't like the fact they're not having a spring game. He agrees with the fans, but you have to, I don't know, in quotes, play the game the way people are playing it now. And so, yeah, it's frustrating. I get it. I totally get it. But, yeah, Grayson, in this new college football world, there are not going to be many freebies at all.
Well, you can't survive like that. By the way,
no, you can't.
By the way,
yeah, you get some goodwill from the fans, and then you lose out, on 3 or 4 players in the portal, that you get outbid on. So it sucks, but I get it. I totally get the fans' frustration. Okay, what else?
Reformed Homer said they better have kicking for chicken at the spring event, or whatever they're calling it.
I would say give them a chance, man. We haven't seen it yet. People don't like change. I know. I'm really old. I hate change. But let's give it a chance and see what happens.
Big Rich in OKC echoing that point. Fans, give the Combine a chance and show up and then go to OU baseball versus Vandy after.
There you go. There you go. All right, Blake, do you want to get some of the YouTube chat in and tell everybody again about our poll question on the Tube of Views? All you have to do is search KREF Sports, and yes, we are live. You get to see a graphic of my face today that's, I don't know, from 6 years ago or so. That looks a lot better than the old Nosferatu look that I have now. So that's good. What do we have, Blake?
Yeah, Kenneth says, just watch the Mateer interview. Can't wait to see this kid on the field.
Yeah, the early returns are good. But look, you know where most of the sunshine pumping happens, right? In the offseason. And does this team have a chance to be better? Absolutely they do. Absolutely. Because the offense was so bad last year. I mean, that wasn't even within a mile of the Oklahoma standard. And the sad thing was you had a pretty good defense, that the offense barely helped at all last year. But, I would just say temper your expectations. I'm not saying have low expectations for Oklahoma football, but I would temper them somewhat. You know what I mean? What else, Blake?
Yeah, and Gunny of Stutzman Army has a question for you, Steelman. Do you consider Tiger to be a hoe?
You a hoe.
There he is. Well, I think he was hoeing around for a while. I think it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, yeah, that when you have a South Park episode about your exploits away from golf, yes. So there was some of that behavior. I kind of look at Tiger the way I look at Jim Morrison or something. I appreciate the artistry in music or on the golf course. And Tiger has done a lot with his learning center and everything. And you can talk about, well, he was suffocated so much by Earl, and, his childhood was, going to the golf course and learning all those lessons, which made him great. But I would say back in the day, there was a period of maybe a couple years where, yes, he was.
So, Steelman, are you saying you have a theory that strict parenting leads to hoism?
No, I would not do that. But, his big celebrity status, and all of that. So, it plus he had the dude who was, helping him out, hiding people out. It was an ugly deal. Tiger, are we ever going to see another athlete do a press conference and apologize for cheating on their wife?
No.
It was very unusual.
No.
Very unusual.
That will not happen again.
So there you go. All right. And what is our poll question again? One more time, Blake.
Yes, very simply. Are you still looking forward to spring football? Yes or no? Steelman, real quick, what do you think it's split at right now? Yes or no?
I'm going to say this is a negative world we're living in. I'm going to say it's 60% no, 40% yes.
Well, right now it's 56% yes, 44% no, but it's
there we go.
It's still early, so
All
little
right.
bit
All right.
A little bit of positivity. Of course, all Sooner fans tuning in right now. So
Are the swing states results in yet?
No, we're still waiting. They're still counting the votes. We might be holding out until Friday night here. So,
okay, there you go.
Well
all
done.
right, we got a break. Mike Steely along with Grayson Singleton, Blake Gamble. Parker is out covering the Sooner stuff right now. And I think, is he going to be back for Locked In, we think?
According to what he told me 3 hours ago, yes.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, he told me that this morning. My old man memory fades so quickly. Okay, we're coming back to Cavens. Keep it here Wednesday on the home of Sooner fans.
Dusty Dvorak here. You're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Don't miss out on OKC's hottest entertainment at the Showplace Theater with acts like Boyz II Men, April 18th. America, April 26th. Patti LaBelle, May 2nd. And Scotty McCreery, May 10th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
Oklahoma baseball single-game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a packed 31-game home schedule this spring at L. Dale Mitchell Park. Seats start at just $10 per game, with exciting promotions like $2 Tuesdays, Firework Fridays, and Sunday Fun Day for Conference Series. Guaranteed fun for the whole family. Check out the game schedule and more information at Soonersports.com. Join us at the ballpark and Boomer Sooner.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries, while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations. So you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Oklahoma GMC dealers.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed. Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
The big dance is almost here, and you know what that means. The home of Sooner fans is ready to make our March giveaways better than ever this year, including the best 68-team giveaway in the state. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street in Moore from noon to 7, with more ways to win at the event than ever before. The Ref's 2025 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino's newly remodeled gaming floor has almost 3,000 of your favorite games, complemented by a variety of bars, restaurants, and the best live music in the metro. It's no surprise that Riverwind is always a good time. Want more ways to win this March? Then put your bracket to the test against the rest of the Ref Army in the Ref Bracket Challenge. Brought to you by Louie's Grill and Bar. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different. And not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. Oklahoma is no stranger to attacks. It's now easier than ever. If you see something, say something. The free and anonymous Protect OK app allows instant reporting of suspicious activity, both in schools and the community. You can help keep your family and friends safe. Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Download the Protect OK app today in the Apple App or Google Play stores. Funded by the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security.
We are back here at Cabins. It is a Wednesday. Gary will join us here a little bit. I think he's in a meeting right now, but I think we'll hook up and have Gary on with us for a few minutes coming up before we get out of here at 2 o'clock. Press conference, Brent Venables earlier. You had John Matera earlier, Jim Nagy, the Sooners' new football general manager, meeting the media, all the newcomers, including the transfer portal class coming in, and the Sooner freshmen that are here for spring practice will be happening throughout the rest of the afternoon. We'll have a lot of audio for you later this afternoon as well. All right, Oklahoma, Mizzou tonight. Hoops, 7 o'clock, LNC on the SEC Network Plus. Missouri beat Oklahoma again by 24 mid-February back in Columbia. And again, the Sooners did a pretty nice job defending the perimeter and not letting Missouri knock down a ton of three-point shots. They're an excellent three-point shooting team. But it was Mark Mitchell, the center inside, with 25 points and getting to the foul line time and time and time again in that game. That was the problem for the Sooners in that matchup. So Sooners, Joe Lunardi now has OU in the first four out. They've got a lot of work to do to get to the tournament. And with what happened last night with Mississippi State losing, and you want to keep those quad one victories, and that one's in danger of going away. So it's an uphill battle for Oklahoma. Let's hear from Porter on the T-Row in the Morning Show right here on the Ref this morning. And T-Row asked Porter if he was confident that Jalen Moore will play tonight.
I am, Toby. He's such a tough kid, and he's not at full strength, but he went about half the reps yesterday, and he's going to go. We think he's going to go. I'm going to see him at our shoot-around today at 2, our walkthrough. But he's feeling better, and he's just tough as nails, and I just don't know how he's going to stay out of this one.
What's the importance of him just psychologically being on the court for your team, considering what a leader he is?
Well, there's a handful. Like, psychologically, one thing, like just because he is. The guys know the level of player he is for us and how much he does. And then physically it is too, because, we're positionally not size matched at pretty much every position, except maybe Jalen's, and to lose a positionally sized SEC-type athlete in this, I think our guys know that too, just to physically guard, because Missouri is one of the oldest teams in the country, with they got so many high major transfers, and to be able to have that kind of athleticism and older bodies. So physically it makes a difference too.
All right, and Porter was also asked about the keys tonight for the Sooners against Missouri. Uh-oh, it may have locked up.
As our guards go, Kobe, Jeremiah, Dayton, and Duke, when they take care of the ball and they play off 2 feet, and it just makes us so much better in the spacing. So I really feel, we scored 90-something against Mississippi State, mid-80s to high Kentucky, and the 80s against Ole Miss. So we just got to get that key stop at the end of the game, these back-to-back games of not getting that key stop, and that'll be huge tonight.
There you go. And again, 7 o'clock tonight, SEC Network, and we'll see how many folks show up tonight at the LNC. Okay, before we hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, 405-651-3439, and the YouTube chat, want to thank our friends at Hightower Clinical for sponsoring Hour Number 2 here on Steelman and Thune. They are bringing great clinical trial opportunities to the state of Oklahoma. No cost or insurance needed to take part. Your meds provided for free. Patients are compensated for their time as well. They're located all around the Oklahoma City metro area. If you want some more information on these very important clinical trials, check them out online at hightowerclinical.com, or you can call or text them at 405-831-5905. That's 405-831-5905. Okay, from the Twitter machine, as Ed Orgeron once called it. Steely, did I hear you say the other day that the Sooners could be better on defense? Are you freaking kidding me? How? Well, Romulus, first of all, I said, yes, they have a shot. I said my concern is who the leaders are going to be. Because clearly the leaders of that defense a year ago were Danny Stutzman 1, Billy Bowman 2nd, Ethan Downs number 3, in my opinion. And I don't think there's any dispute that Danny was the leader, but you had great leaders, really good leadership, program guys on each level of the defense. You know, if they get that kind of leadership from Kobe McKenzie or Peyton Bowen or R. Mason Thomas, because the talent's there. You look at the starting, so let's start at edge, okay? R. Mason Thomas, Marvin Jones Jr., and then you have, you know, maybe PJ or Danny Okoye, Taylor Wine, you know, behind them. But those are two really good. R. Mason Thomas, superstar. If he stays healthy, Marvin Jones Jr., great get out of the portal. Inside, you've got Dominic Williams, and you've got Jaden Jackson. You've got David Stone in there. You got Grayson Halton. Linebackers, Kobe and Kip. Then you have Sammy Omasigo, James Nesta. We'll see if they – but certainly those top three. We'll see what's going to happen with Kanik. Will he play, you know, both positions? Maybe some on offense. At Cheetah, you've got the two Kendalls, Kendall Dolby. Now, is he going to be back in terms of being near 100%? He was playing great at that spot last year. Kendall Daniels for Oklahoma State. You got Reggie Powers maybe in the mix there. Your corners, and the key is going to be keeping Gentry Williams healthy. His shoulder hasn't cooperated. And I wouldn't bank on him because he seems like he's injured all the time. But when he's healthy, he's a fantastic corner, a really good player. So Gentry Williams, Eli Bowen at corner. Then you got RSJ, Peyton Bowen, mix in Michael Boganowski, you know, with the safeties. And that's the makings, don't you think, Grayson, Blake, of a really good defense. But keep guys healthy, particularly Gentry Williams. And the depth, maybe there's a little bit of questionable depth, but I still think the depth looks pretty good as well. What do you guys think? So I think it's got a chance.
Look, I agree with your breakdown of it. I don't agree that they're going to be better or significantly better. And that's a testament to how good the defense was in 2024. Because if you think back to it, if that defense isn't as dominant in 2024 as it was, Oklahoma's not sniffing a bowl game. So let's keep that in mind. But you're losing Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman, and you're not just losing their physical play, you're losing their intellect. You're losing what they had upstairs. You're losing Danny Stutzman calling the checks on defense, making the pre-snap post-huddle adjustments. You're losing a lot of that. And I don't think, even though we expect the defense to be good, and rightfully so, I don't think you can expect it to be better than it was last year, much less significantly better. So everything you said is correct. I just don't think, especially with the level of competition that you're going to play next year, Lenore Seller's going to be a year wiser. Arch Manning, we'll see what that brings, but he brings a different dimension to Texas's offense than Quinn Ewers. We'll see what Michigan does, but you've got the rest of the SEC to contend with. Nico's going to be better. I don't know if this defense is going to be better than it was last year.
Yeah, and like I told Romulus, because he said, did I hear you say? I said they have a chance, right? I didn't say they're going to be. But do they have a chance? I mean, they have a chance, but you're right, and that's what I talked about as well. You had two guys, and Ethan Downs had some great moments as well. Fantastic young man, great Sooner, had a great combine as well in Indy. But two guys who made a ton of plays for you in Danny and Billy Bowman. So we'll see. But I look at that defense, and I'm thinking it still looks like a pretty darn good defense. Keep guys healthy is going to be a big key.
Still, it's still going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but the bar was set last year so high. So if you say it's going to be better than that, I don't know.
It will take some guys. It'll take like Jaden Jackson even being better than he was as a freshman. David Stone taking it to the next level. Keeping Gentry Williams healthy. It's going to be tough, but I like the look of it. I agree. Last year they set the bar pretty high. I think there's a shot. Again, the key is going to be keeping some guys healthy because I love the cornerback combo. And Eli Bowen, yes, he got beat a couple times in the LSU game. You're a corner. You're going to get beat every now and then unless you're like, Deion Sanders or Revis Island or whatever. But I think they've got a lot of good talent and some up-and-coming young talent on that side of the football. Okay, Blake, what do we have on the YouTube chat? What up?
What's up, Steelman? So Robbie says the BV interview was great when he simply said, because I'm good at it, on being defensive coordinator this year. He thought that was absolutely awesome. Jay chimes in that he threw up a bit in his mouth when BV mentioned that Jaden Gibson has been re-injured. That's not a good sign. And K-Dub in the 918 chimes in. He's got a couple of opinions regarding some fan engagement. He's not a fan of Kicking for Chicken and has some critiques on the in-game MC. Steelman, what do you
He's
think?
hitting this up on both sides.
Say what?
Didn't he hit this up on both sides, right?
Is he? Yeah. I mean, you hear that a lot, don't you? People really want to have their voices heard, right?
Well, that's the day and age we live in. But, yeah, K-Dub, wasn't he the one, Grayson, who said, not a fan of the fan engagement? Or look, I'm old. My brain goes crazy.
No, you got it.
Sometimes.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, but like I was saying, all I'm saying, I need the acoustic guitar and the clapping. Give the Combine a chance. Give it a chance. We'll see. Maybe it'll be, who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. I'm a sucker for the spring game. I'm so old. I was going to the varsity alumni games back in the 70s, a long, long time ago. What a great decade, by the way. But, we'll see. We'll see. People are just very upset now, and they're negative now, and I get it. When your two most important sports, softball certainly very up high on the ladder now, are struggling, they're going to be upset. And in this day and age where if you're a school, you got to be asking for more money all the time, it's tough. I get the fan frustration. Okay, what else, guys?
Well, Steely, kind of back to the point about the defense. One way that I think they could be better, even if talent-wise they're not actually better, even if production-wise they're not actually better, just the fact that the offense is going to be so much better. Last year's defense had so much talent, but they were put in awful positions.
Absolutely.
With so many turnovers. I mean, the South Carolina game, you don't have to look any further than that. It was 21-0 right after the bat because of the bad field position and the defense scoring so much. So, I mean, I think if the defense just takes half a step back, we could see, the defensive scoring number drop a touchdown or even more. So I think that's one way that the defense statistically could improve.
Yeah, I look back like the Tennessee game last year, right? And we were talking about the recipe for Oklahoma to win the football game because we knew the offense was struggling. We thought, well, maybe they can break out of that slump. Surely they're not going to be this bad as they've been or this inconsistent. But the defense needed to get some stops, create some turnovers. And the defense went out there and did that early in the game. They gave them the ball inside the 5-yard line. What happened on the next play? JFA. Fumble. I mean, there's a chance right there. That crowd was already into the game. Sooners lose momentum. It ends up, Tennessee ends up winning the football game. But they were left in bad situations time after time after time.
Here's what I will say, Steely, to this point. Here's where I do think the defense can improve because there is still room for improvement. There's two spots. Number one, can you get more consistent pressure off the edge throughout the game? Now, we know R. Mason Thomas came up in big spots late in games, but they didn't always pressure the quarterback throughout the entirety of the game. So there's one area you can get better. Number two, defending the middle of the field. They didn't defend the middle of the field very well, and quite frankly, the corner opposite Eli Bowen wasn't very good. So there is still room for them to improve, yes. I just don't see it. I don't see how they improve markedly without two big leaders that they lost, but they can.
All right, we're here at Cavens on a Wednesday, and we will get to the poll results coming up here in a little bit. You want to hit us up on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, you can do it. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Gary's coming up for a couple minutes. Some final sports notes for you as well. Keep it right here on the one and only home of Sooner fans.
This is Deion Burks, and you're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Whoa. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swinging.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game, all year, the Ref has you covered.
Catch Sooner softball as they host Sam Houston State this Friday at 6:30 and Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock right here on the Ref and the K-Ref app.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Is your team coming to Norman or Noble for an event? Let Chick-fil-A 12th Avenue be your winning meal provider. From box meals and nugget trays to lemonade and tea, 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A can provide your team's pre- or post-game meal. Delivery, pickup, or dine in, 12th Avenue will have you covered. Call us at 405-310-3189 or use the CFA One app and let Chick-fil-A feed your team. Don't forget to ask about the Give Back program for a winning season. Call 405-310-3189 and remember to eat more chicken.
Dreaming of your own backyard oasis? Be the envy of your neighborhood and let Signature Custom Pools help you create the perfect poolside paradise. Their professional design expertise can transport you into your own Mystic Falls, suburban sanctuary, or Mediterranean retreat. Settle into an endless vacation, entertain your family, friends, and get the signature touch with Signature Custom Pools. Call them for a free consultation at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com today.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Discover the path to sobriety, emotional well-being, and lasting positive change with the Virtue Center, a nonprofit serving Oklahoma since 1972. Specializing in addiction, gambling, and mental health-related services, we offer same-day walk-in screening appointments Monday through Friday and serve ages 12 and up, as well as individual clients or families. Give us a call at 405-321-0022 or visit thevirtuecenter.org to learn more.
When students struggle because they are hungry
or fall behind because they lack school supplies,
a caring adult can make all the difference.
Especially someone from the community.
Someone who knows the students
and the obstacles they might be facing.
At Communities in Schools, our site coordinators surround students with a community of support
to ensure that they have everything they need to engage in learning.
We go all in for kids, all day, every day.
To learn more, visit communitiesinschools.org.
Children who've experienced abuse or neglect face a frightening, profound unknown. Courtrooms, foster care, new schools. No child should face these alone. Trained and supported court-appointed special advocates or CASA volunteers advocate in court on behalf of these children. They stay with each child until the case is closed and the child is in a safe, permanent home. Volunteers make a life-changing difference, but more children need our help. Lend your voice and change a child's story today. Learn how you can help right here in your community. Visit southcentralcasa.org. Ladies and gentlemen, here at the one and only Cavens Group, we'll hit we'll get to the text line again here in a second and find out the results of our poll question on the YouTube chat here in a minute. The one and only Gary Cavens is here. Can we call you the Master of Disaster?
I love it. Let's do that. New nickname. Master of Disaster.
Is there like a Marvel villain or something? No, I don't know.
I don't know, but I like the direction you're going here, Steely.
There you go.
I really hope Perry's listening right now, for sure, and Chris and Tyler. Yes,
we can get you like a superhero outfit or something with it.
Yeah,
maybe
for sure, most definitely.
So,
Master of Disaster. I like it. It's got a ring to it for sure. It is the disaster season, too. I mean, we're headed into spring.
Yeah.
And spring in Oklahoma brings tornadoes and hail and straight line winds with straight line water getting into buildings, getting into properties.
You're always worried about my deductible. Please don't hail or whatever. You know.
I know.
So, anyway. All right. So, again, this is the season where you need to be worried about water intrusion, and water can start the process of mold, and that is really your arch enemy as the Master of Disaster is mold, right?
100% it is, and it's the arch enemy of every property owner in Oklahoma. You know, it's one of those things. You do get flooding during the spring. We get spring rains. We get, 3 inches in a short amount of time, and a property floods. Call Cavens, because what you don't want to do is have to deal with the mold on the backside. Insurance will cover water intrusion and water issues on the front side, but they won't cover the mold on the backside.
Well, it's just important to get ahead of the game, right? Don't be hesitant. Don't try and do it yourself. Look, there are not a lot, but some situations where you got these handy guys who can take care of some stuff, but you don't want to do that with mold.
No, not at all. I mean, you've got to know what to do, what the science is behind it, how to remove it properly, so you don't have to call us down the road and say, well, we didn't have it removed properly, and now I need your help, Gary, because it's traveled through my HVAC system, and it's in multiple rooms in my property, and it's affecting the health and safety of my staff now, and so now I really need you. So, don't do it yourself. Call in a professional when it comes to mold. 100%.
Yeah, there are some things you might have, pretty good success doing yourself, but you don't want to, I've got this cleaned up. This looks great. Everything's off the floor. It looks like, but there's other stuff that's hanging around that you can't see. And then you'll, a couple months, 6 months down the road, it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? I didn't get this. That's why you need a pro.
100%. We're here to help with mold, water, emergency board up, because it's that time of year. A tree limb comes through a window at your business, or a car drives into your business, or a tree limb comes through your window at your home. You need emergency board up, waterproofing, temporary solution. That's what we're here for. Emergency water from storms, broken pipe, broken toilet line. We're getting into, before too long, we'll be in HVAC season, turning on those. You have condensate line leaking. A leak can fall through your ceiling. We can help with that, getting that dried so you don't turn it into a mold issue. Biohazard, hopefully you never need us, but if you do need us, crime scene cleanup, suicide cleanup, accident cleanup, that kind of stuff, we're here to help with that. You don't need your employees doing that, and you don't need your family doing that. They don't need to be involved in that. Doesn't need to be last members.
Yeah.
So we're here for that. And then we're also sanitizing. We had an outbreak of flu a few weeks back that was affecting everybody. We can come in your business and help sanitize, help clean that, so it's not spreading around to all your employees and you're losing employees, multiple employees to sickness. And then, we're getting into air duct cleaning season too. We still do air duct cleaning. It's not something that we promote all the time, but we do that. And we have a commercial project going on right now where we're doing 400 commercial air vents right now. So, we do that also. So if you need air duct clean, give us a call for that too.
There you go. They do it all here at Cavens, and they are the best in the business. Put this phone number in your contacts, Cavens, C-A-V-I-N-S, emergency, 405-573-3048. They're also online at cavensgroup.com.
And if you don't put it as Cavens Group, you can always put it as the Master of Disaster.
There you go. When the master of disaster appears, mold disappears.
That's right.
There you go. We need your own comic book now, Gary. Thank you, my friend.
Deal. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thanks for
you.
having me.
Gary Cavens here at Cavens Group. Again, they're online at cavensgroup.com, Insta, Facebook, X/Twitter. I still like to call it Twitter myself. But, that you talk about a cesspool. Is there anything worse than Twitter these days?
Have you ever been on Reddit before?
I don't do Reddit. What is Reddit all about?
I've
seen it a couple times when I've been pointed in that direction. It looks like a lot of people with way too much time on their hands.
Yes, that is very good. That is a very good explanation of what it is. Think of it like Twitter, except even more degenerate people.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There can't be a place with more degenerate people than Twitter right now.
Clearly, you've never been on Reddit.
Okay, so stay away from Reddit. I'll underline that. No Reddit. They're losers.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Okay, there we go. I can't imagine who gets to do that stuff all day. Right? This is my old man rant. Here we go. If you can sit and tweet all day and, just come after people, you're probably a loser. If you have all day to do that, you probably don't think you're a loser. But if I sent out the loser meter and turned it on, it would show up loser. Now, some of you who might have a trust fund or a rich uncle or, you're living off daddy's money, okay, that's great. They're losers too, of course, because they're spoiled. But, so the Reddit people, I need to look out for the Reddit people. But I just can't imagine getting up every day, having a cup of coffee. Oh, this is going to be great all day. I'll just troll people and look on Reddit and maybe I'll find a girlfriend one day. Probably not, but who knows? Pathetic. Pathetic. Get out and participate in the real world. Ladies and gentlemen.
You were about half an hour late on the old man
I'm just going
rant.
to sit at Twitter all day. By the way, what's up on Reddit today? Who can I troll? By the way, I'm Bill for OU, 7424655ZX. I'm going to come after people today. Sitting here in my tidy whities, drinking a Hams beer. I got me an 18-pack of Hams. Pathetic. Okay, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
5808. Nate. I heard Grindr is worse than Twitter, but not sure.
Not familiar with Grindr.
I'll have to tell you what that is once we get done. Jake from Wisconsin. Steely's rant is a little late today. Yeah, you were late by about 30 minutes today.
It was a weird show today.
It was a weird show today.
Yeah. It was a very weird show. Compacted show, but hopefully decent. A little different. All right. Let's check in with Blake, then we'll get a couple texts in. Blake, what are the final results? The swing state votes are in. How did it turn out on the YouTube chat?
Are you still looking forward to spring football? And yes is going to win it today. 58% of our voters today are still looking forward to spring football in Norman, Oklahoma. 41% say no, and 1% forever lost in the YouTubes.
The 1% is on Reddit.
Oh, yep, they got to be there. Hey, Steely, I got a question. Since Parker's not here after that rant, I have to ask on his behalf, why are you trying to cook Travis?
I'm not cooking Travis. Is he on Reddit or something?
No, I don't know.
You guys are starting to, trying to start me up on Travis. Now, the only thing I've ever said is he's a bit of an over-tweeter, but people his age, they all over-tweet. That's the only thing I've confessed to. But you know me, I'm pretty much, for the most part, a never tweeter. I even feel guilty when I do tweet. I'm like, geez, you egomaniac. You don't need to be putting that out there.
Why do you feel guilty when you tweet?
Well, that's a bit of BS. But sometimes if I feel like I'm tweeting too much during the day, I'm like, dude, you're just like them. Don't be that. Don't be the over-tweeter. Because there's a lot of times that I feel like there's a lot of stuff that nobody gives a rat's ass about that people tweet out there, and that's the one thing I don't want to be tweeting. What's a nobody gives a rat's ass tweet? Is that like the picture of your steak and your mashed potatoes and your plate of food? I'm going to kill this today or whatever.
I find people's food very interesting. And
Why?
Maybe it's because I like to cook. I'm one of those people that will post their food that I cook.
I'm just saying, okay, if you cook it, I get it. But just to eat it, I just think it takes a lot of narcissism to sit there and think, you know what, I've got a great meal here in front of me. I'm sure people want to see this.
Steely, you got to take a picture the next time you cook a chicken pot pie.
Yeah, mate.
when he
sounds good, man. I need to go
puts
pick
that thing in
another
the
one up.
oven.
Yeah, when next time you take a chicken pot pie, a Marie Callender's out of the oven, please tweet that out.
Then there are also the ones of the show you up tweeters. You know what those people are? Like they'll have a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon or something. They'll take a picture of that. Like, guess what? I've got a lot more money than you do. Check this out. Those people are annoying too. It's like, dude, okay, you got a lot of money. Good for you. Good for you. I like Pappy Van Winkle too. Had it at Augusta.
Steely,
I'm not taking pictures of it.
You mean you're not taking pictures and posting when you're at Augusta? Like, don't they take your phones from you or something like that?
Yeah, they do. But I'm just saying, I'm not, those are the people who are trying to show you up. Look how cool my life is.
Steely, I'm going to send you tweets from my Twitter feed, and you'll figure out why Twitter's my favorite social media.
I mean, I don't hate it. I hate the politics part of it. I hate the narcissism part of it. So, yeah, you're right. I do hate it. So, yeah. Okay, everybody. We have some final texts we can get to.
A texter from the 580 wants me to tell you what Grindr is on air.
What is it? It doesn't sound good.
I mean, it's not anything bad. It's you know what Tinder is, right? The dating
Yes,
app.
by the way,
Okay.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, and this is winning in life. I've never had to use an app for a date, ever. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
What a flex, Steely. Oh.
And we've been playing with big league prospects for a long time. There's no, who swipe me back? Pathetic.
It's basically Tinder for same-sex couples. That's what Grindr is.
Thank you for joining us today here at Caven's Group. Thanks to Gary and the crew here. They're awesome. Friday at Riverwind. You talk about winning. First here at Caven's and at Riverwind. These young people, I'm telling you, we're just going to have to set them straight. The meteor, the pull of the Earth's atmosphere, pulling this meteor closer to us every day, and it's all their fault. There are other forces at work. These people, man, they're getting worse. We might as well send the biggest meteor we have and just end this. Grindr and Urban Dictionary and all kinds of stuff. Let's just make it over with.
Get out of
Everybody
here,
have a
Steely.
great, great Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. See you.